When you see a dangerous situation, do something about it. It doesn't matter if you're still living in the home you've been living in for the past 30 years, or maybe you just moved into a retirement home last week. When you see a dangerous situation, try to fix it if you can, or do something about it. And if you can't fix it, well, report it to someone who can fix it. Now, if you're in a senior's home, that's easy. Report it to the staff so they can take care of it. But maybe you're still in your own home. Well, if you can't fix it yourself, get help to fix it. Because if you just leave it, it can come around and bite you or someone else. And just please don't ignore it. Here's a short video on this topic. And I did it several years ago, and it points out the importance of doing something when a dangerous situation is spotted. And it's part of being in the safety mindset.
Years ago, I was involved in a situation I have to take full responsibility for. No one to blame but myself. But it was a night shift, and I was getting ready to go to the firehouse. So I walked down the stairs, walked along the sidewalk, stepped on a patch of ice. My feet shot out from under me, but I made a great recovery, and I said, that's dangerous. I got to fix that. One thing led to another, and I didn't get around to making that dangerous situation safe. 2 o'clock at the firehouse, I get a phone call from my neighbor. He says, Martin, I don't want to alarm you, but my wife at the time, she's fallen down, she's broken her arm. You see, what had happened, one of the kids, in the middle of the night, her temperature went up quite dramatically, and she was complaining of a stiff neck, and that's a possible sign of meningitis, something you don't want to joke around with. So she had already put the infant in the car seat, and as she was carrying the 3-year-old out, she stepped on the same patch of ice I stepped on. And her feet shot out from under her, and she ended up landing on her shoulder, breaking it in 3 different places. A very, very nasty break. So I had to use like a couple of weeks holidays to do the cooking, the feeding, the changing diapers. I had to become like Mr. Mom. But now, let's just back up a little bit. Instead of her shoulder hitting the concrete, what would have happened when she was carrying my daughter if my daughter's head hit the concrete? As a paramedic, I've attended people who have been seriously injured, who received permanent brain damage, and people who have died after slipping on the sidewalk and hitting their head. The ripple effect would have been much, much bigger. It would have taken me 20 seconds to go to the bag of salt, which was sitting by the door, take a scoopful, and throw that sidewalk salt onto that patch of ice and make that dangerous situation much better. 20 seconds, that's it. So now I want to just show a good example of people taking the bull by the horns and correcting a dangerous situation. I live across from a school, and they have a playground there. One of the playground apparatus was broken. So the parents were afraid children were going to get hurt using it. So they marked it, and they marked it in a very, very good way, because now it's very obvious that no one should be using that piece of machinery. We should all be like that. When you see a dangerous situation, fix it if you possibly can. And if you can't fix it, mark it. Take it out of service. Do whatever you can, but just don't look at it and say, oh, that's dangerous, and keep on going, because you just never know when that dangerous situation is going to raise its ugly head and hurt someone. And always take the time to think and be safe at all times.
Did you notice a difference in playgrounds when we were kids? The monkey bars we played on, well, I know for a fact I did, and I'm probably sure you did, were built on concrete or asphalt, not wood chips or rubber. The playgrounds we played on were set up more like this. Now, I guess the rock was designed from stopping kids from going too far, but I thought it was a strange place to put a rock. That was actually in a village in Nepal I was visiting. Now, it was in a school playground. The school was built by Sir Edmund Hillary, and he was the first person, along with Tenzing Norgay, a Nepalese local, to climb Mount Everest in 1953. After he climbed Everest, Hillary set up schools throughout Nepal, a very nice thing to do. This was one of the schools that he built. The school was closed when I was there, and there was no local people around, because I would have loved to have asked them about, why the rock was there, because I couldn't figure out any reason why they would put a rock right where it is. You may not be noticing dangerous situations in a playground unless there's one close to you, or you're taking your grandchildren to play in one. But maybe you're in a senior's home, or you're still even in your own home, and you spilled something on the floor, or there's ice on the front steps, or you notice another potentially dangerous situation. If you're in a retirement home, report it to the staff so they can take care of it. Never be afraid to ask for help in these situations. And let people know of any dangers you spot. If you're in your own home, well, fix it if you can. Do something to make it safer, to warn others. You may have to get someone else to help fix it, depending on the problem and depending on your physical state and how handy you are with fixing things. After all, you don't want to see anyone where you live get hurt, and you don't want to get hurt yourself. Safety is a team sport. Being in the safety mindset will help you notice hazards. Thanks for watching. Now, if you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe to them. Also, feel free to add any comments. There's a lot of people like you with life experience watching these videos, and we can learn from each other. And this will help me make better videos.